Hey guys, welcome to another Anatar Lord of Gifts video. Today I'm going to be reviewing my custom-made 3D printed Iron Man Mark 85 suit from Endgame. And this was my most recent suit that I completed. I 3D printed this on a CR-10 and ELGLOO photon mono. It's using PLA and resin parts. All of it was printed, sanded, and painted by me. The parts files came from Do 3D, which is, I think, a really great place to get some awesome files. But this is the suit all put together on a mannequin that I built for it to have a fun stand in my room, and then I custom designed the arc reactor base with Iron Man nameplate. And as I go into all this, I'll explain how all this is set up and how I made it and things like that. But I just wanted to give you a quick little look at how it looks all standing up together in my room. I think it came out really nice. I think the paint is really fun and shiny and has that nice gold texture and metallic red look to it. The movie has a more flat gold, but I went with a more prominent gold because I really like the way it came out and like the shine of it. But with that, we'll start with getting into the rest of the suit. So I'll start with the most iconic part of the suit probably, which is the helmet, which I think came out beautifully. I love the gold and the red and the silver as well. The way I did this is I put it into fundamentally 3 parts. So we have the faceplate, which can come off, then we have the jaw piece, and then we kind of have the headpiece. And on one side, it disconnects here, and then on the other side, it disconnects up here at this line instead. I did this because I found having the seam at the same place made it a little more fragile, putting it on and taking it off, but having it in the disconnected parts, it kind of worked better for me. I'm not saying it works better for everyone, but I thought it came out really nice. The eyes actually do light up, and later I will show that in the video, but they do light up a nice like aqua blue. And then the back of the helmet's not as much interesting, but it just has that nice continuous of that metal, that nice metallic red that is in there as well. So I think the helmet came out really cool. It was really nice to look at. Basically, the way I did it is I sanded it a whole bunch of times and primed it a whole bunch of times, and then put a nice shiny black coat, and then I put this Spastics mirror chrome silver on the entire helmet. And then I used masking tape to cover up the parts that I wanted to stay silver. And then I sprayed it this nice candy apple red, also by Spastics. And then the gold parts are all hand painted with a nice gold shiny paint, and then the whole thing is sealed with some clear coat sealer. So altogether it gave it that nice metallic reflective look that when you move, the light hits it differently. So I think the helmet came out super nice. But to go kind of down from there, we have the breastplate and shoulders, that kind of stuff. And so I would say the hardest part of doing an Iron Man suit is figuring out how to mount it all to your body. And so what I did is I built a harness system with clips, and the top of the harness has some Velcro at the top where like the traps would be. And so the breastplate, basically all it does is it just connects Velcro via the Velcro, sorry, onto the top of the harness. And then the back piece also connects Velcro wise to the back. You can kind of see the Velcro under here. And so the back basically has these long straps that are double-sided Velcro. They connect onto the harness, and then the front chest piece connects onto that Velcro as well. And it actually holds up pretty well and gives me a good amount of movement, which is nice. And then it makes it really easy to attach these shoulder pieces. So these shoulder pieces, all they are is a Velcro strip connected underneath to that same Velcro harness system that I have there. So that part makes it really, really nice and easy to move and easy to adjust. So if it's a little too forward or a little too back, I can just simply move the Velcro. I like that a lot better, so that way I don't have to be absolutely certain one way or another of where I wanted it to sit and stuff like that. I could do a lot of adjustments and nothing was permanent in that way. And then the breastplate connects to the abs. You can kind of see here a little strap that connects it, so it gives that ability to move. Sorry, I'm going to move the camera under here. And so it gives this the ability to kind of flap around as necessary when you move, so that part is nice. And the back plate operates much of the same way, so it kind of can flap around and move with you, and then you can kind of see the back of the harness here. I'm probably going to cover this up with just some like red duct tape, red paint, that kind of stuff, just make it the same color as this material so it can blend it a little better. But for the sake of the tutorial, it's actually kind of helpful. And also, when I wear the suit, this part is a lot closer to this part, so this gets kind of covered a lot more. It's just when it sits on the mannequin, there's a little bit of a gap. So it's not too much a worry of like when I'm actually wearing the cosplay, but when it sits here you can kind of see it, but again it's kind of hidden by the wall. But the butt plate basically just clips in here to the straps and can move around as it needs to. Same with the groin plate, just kind of connects to the harness and sits like that. And then that brings us to the quads. I would say the legs are the hardest part to rig, in my opinion. Originally I created this seam line here because I was going to have them kind of clasp together, kind of like in this kind of idea. I later abandoned that because I just couldn't get it to work quite the way I wanted to. So these actually connect, but I still left them as two separate parts because when I move, it's nice to be able to have some movement between them and some stretch. I basically have like a stretchy version of these straps so that it can actually move with your legs, so it's not as brittle, but it's a lot more mobile. And then they just connect to straps here that are connected to the harness, so the harness actually holds those up. And these are connected to the shin pieces slash calf pieces. Same mechanic. I was gonna have them open and close like that, switched up the mechanic, and they basically connect to the quads through straps in this area underneath. You can't really see them as well, but you can kind of see, I guess, a little bit of this one. But there's these straps that connect and allow them to hinge, which is really nice. And then that brings us to the shoes. And the shoes are actually pretty cool. I put a seam here so that you could flex your foot kind of when you need to, like that. And so that way it's not just one solid piece, so you don't have to kind of walk with a duck type of thing. And they just sit on top of normal shoes, which is cool. So you can just wear any tennis shoes you want underneath, and then these just go on top. And you can kind of see the base of the mannequin there, how it goes into the stand. Which brings me to the stand, which is one of my favorite parts. This is the first time for one of my cosplays I made an actual stand. So I made it based off the arc reactor in Iron Man 2 with that cool triangle shape. I think it's very fun to look at. It's nice and symmetrical. I believe this came out to be something around like 16 different prints that took up like my build plate, and they all interlock and connect. And then painted the same with that mirror chrome, and I put that nice movie logo Iron Man font on there as well as a fun display. And I think it just looks really cool that he's standing on an arc reactor, and it goes with the suit so well. But one of the things I did that I also really like, obviously right now as you can see, it's just a nice white, kind of like the arc reactor you would see when it's turned off. But actually all that white that you see is glow paint. And so when I turn off the lights, or if I go to bed or something like that, this grows a nice bright aqua blue. So in a couple seconds here, I'll show you guys that, and I'll also turn on the Iron Man eyes so you can kind of see what it looks like when it's all lit up. So obviously I'm having to film in the dark, so it might not be the best video quality, but this is kind of what the eyes look like lit up at night. I think they came out really well, and you can actually see really well out of the helmet with the eyes lit up, so it's not a hindrance at all, and it's really easy to work with. I'll probably do a review of the helmet alone at some point, so I can show you kind of how the setup works, how I connected all the pieces, and how I got the lights to work. But this is what the Iron Man base looks like at night, and so I don't know about you guys, but I find this pretty cool. I think it looks dope at night. It has that cool glow to it, and it's very bright, and right now it's obviously daytime, as you can see under the door, but at night and when it's really dark, it'll even base light the suit, so you can actually kind of still see the suit at night. So I think it was a really cool idea to kind of have it do glow paint along with the arc reactor, so that way I didn't have to use LEDs or constantly plug them in or change batteries or anything like that. But I think it came out really cool. Let me know what you guys think of the suit, and let me know if you want any tips or tricks on your own Iron Man suit.